Hello everyone, welcome to the video. It's munclesonkey here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to train your crafting. So in this guide I'm going to be showing you a lot of ways, both expensive, cheap, fast, and slow, possibly even a couple ways that you don't know about yet, that you can use to train your crafting skill all the way from level 1 to 99, and all the methods that I would recommend to do, and you'll be able to pick from a few different methods which one is right for you depending on how much money you have and how much time you're willing to spend. So before we actually get into how to train the crafting methods themselves, it's important to have your bonus XP all sorted out if this is the route that you choose to go down. Unfortunately, unlike most skills, crafting doesn't have a whole ton of skill items that you can wear or D&Ds that you can use to train crafting unless you choose to put XP from lamps and reward books like that into the skill itself. But there is Stealing Creation, which is a mini game that you can play as much as you like, and you can get around 150k an hour in a normal FC, or even more if you're using a special FC for Stealing Creation. And I will have a guide on that, so just click on the creation kiln on the video itself and that will take you to that guide, which will explain it more in depth if this is a route that you're interested in. If you really struggle with making money and crafting is too expensive for you, you might want to try it. The best way to get started when you're first training crafting at level 1 is to make bowstrings. Yes, you can make bowstrings from level 1 crafting due to an update in RS about 1.5 to 2 years ago, and the best place to make them is in the Lumbridge Castle at the spinning wheel there. So these aren't great XP, they're only about 18k XP per hour, but at current GE prices they're very good money making. The bowstrings can sell for over 400 GP each, and the flax is extremely cheap, so you can expect to make several 100k an hour here just while training, even from level 1 crafting. So if you're first starting off an account, or you just are very extremely low on money, this can also be a great way to make your first starting cash as well as get your first few crafting levels, and I'd recommend to stick with this one as long as you can bear it, just so you can get that first starting cash that you desperately need out of the way. If you get burnt out with bowstrings sooner rather than later, the next step in your crafting adventure is going to be making gold amulets. You can really make these at any furnace. The one that I showed does have some requirements of completing the Varrock Easy task to access this furnace. However, another good option of a furnace is, for example, the one in Al-Kharid, which does not have any requirements. And you can make these from level 8 and up crafting. A lot of people also choose to make gold bracelets, which are better money, but are also slower XP. I would recommend, if you do need money, that you just stick with the bowstrings. However, if you do want more XP, you can make these gold amulets, which are almost twice as fast the XP as the bowstrings are. You don't really make hardly any money at all, but you're not going to be cutting a loss, and 37k XP per hour for such a low level method required to create is actually very good. This next method I'm going to be showing you guys is an extremely well-known but also extremely underrated method of crafting silver tiaras. Now, silver tiaras only take level 23 to make, and at the current prices they are far cheaper than making leather armor of the same equivalent XP rates and the same levels. So by far the best way to go if you are willing to spend some money at these levels is making silver tiaras, because at such a low crafting level, 81,000 XP per hour is extremely good, and although you'll be paying a bit, you won't lose that much money per silver tiara because the silver bars aren't very expensive, so it is well worth it if you're looking to get up your crafting pretty fast without spending a ton of cash. For those of you that are looking to train up their crafting at the higher levels and still looking to get a pretty decent XP rate, but also profit instead of losing money, there's really only one decent way to do that, and that is urns. So there are 3 urns at the moment that are profitable, and for the most part will make you money as long as you make these. At level 59 you can make the decorated mining urns, and these are about 53,000 XP per hour. At level 76 you can make the decorated fishing urns, and these are about 67,000 XP per hour. And then finally at level 81 you can make the decorated cooking urns, which are about 73,000 XP per hour. Sometimes these urns can take time to sell, so just be patient. However, if you do leave them in the GE overnight or something like that, you will not lose money as long as you craft these items, and this means you can potentially get 99 crafting for free if you had enough patience to do it. There are many places across the land of RuneScape where you can craft your urns. My personal favorite is just in the Berthorpe area. I like to look at this area, and it's fairly close to a bank, so this is my favorite. You can also, additionally, if you'd like to go try Horde mode, you can use skills necklaces to teleport to the crafting guild and then bank using your Takalzo or Rings of Dueling or whatever you'd like. However, it's not really that much faster. In this way, this method here and the Berthorpe location is a little bit easier. So you just want to run south to the pottery wheel and form your urn. You do have to go through some interfaces, which is slightly annoying. However, as soon as you get through that, you will just be able to use your soft clay. You do use 2 soft clay per urn, so you only make 14 urns per inventory, and then you just fire the urns, which takes a little while, but this is quite decent XP even though it is a slow process of creating each urn individually. A higher level method, which is a very cheap way to train crafting, but also takes a long time to stock up on all the gems and supplies that you will need, but you will not lose very much money because these necklaces that you will be making, if you choose to go down this route, are very useful for divination when making signs of the porter, so a lot of people buy them. However, it does take a long time to stockpile gems. You can't buy very many per 4 hours because of the GE limits, and also they're not very commonly sold on the GE, so often you'll have to go well over the GE mid-market price to stock up on gems. However, if you do have the patience, you can be well rewarded, as you can create emerald necklaces, ruby necklaces, and diamond necklaces that have very good XP rates per hour, very low crafting level requirements, and also you can sell them back without much loss or possibly even break even depending on current prices. So if you're interested in going down the necklace route and you have some patience and also some money to put into gems to stock up, you can do this without making much of a loss at all on crafting and getting some pretty good XP. My personal favorite place for all my crafting and smithing needs is the Edgeville Furnace, and again, like I said earlier in this guide, you do need the Varrock Easy tasks to complete them to access this furnace, and if you haven't done those, I would recommend just going to Al-Kharid or just busting out those tasks and getting this furnace activated, because it is a very close furnace to a bank, the closest one in game, in fact, and it's extremely convenient since it's so close to the GE as well, if you just have to go there to check some things or buy some extra crafting materials. So you can only make 14 jewelry per inventory, which makes it slightly less AFK than some other methods. However, the XP rate does make up for it, and also the low cost for training also makes up for this method. Now this is the part of the guide when we get into some of the much more fast ways of training crafting, but also much more expensive. So the first way of training crafting that's extremely fast and also the least expensive of all the ways to power train crafting is battle staffs. The problem with battle staffs is you can only buy 100 of them off of the GE every 4 hours, so the best way to do it is just leave a GE offer in for a really long time. It will take months and months upon end to actually achieve the amount of battle staffs that you need to train to high levels of crafting. However, it's well worth it, as you can save a ton of money versus crafting dragon hides or cutting gems or other fast ways of training crafting. Or you could also have friends or clanmates help you buy them if you have people like that in your life who are willing to do that. The method to train battle staffs is quite simple. Again, you can only create 14 per inventory and you make them quite fast. This isn't exactly AFK, however, it's extremely fast crafting experience. Even the water battle staffs, which are by far the cheapest to make, are over 200k crafting an hour. So I'd highly recommend doing this if you have a little bit of cash to train on crafting and you're not afraid to wait a long time, because other methods of training this fast, such as Dragonhide, just cost about twice the price, so it's much better to do battle staffs if you can stock them up, or if you want to go in the forums, buy some there, buy them from clanmates, etc. Stuff like that can really help you save a ton of money. Dragonhide armor is probably one of the most popular and well-known ways of training crafting among higher levels. However, with the high amount of experience that you will gain from crafting these bodies, you will also pay a heavy price, as they are extremely expensive GP per XP wise. Now, there are 5 different Dragonhide bodies that you can create, all of them requiring varying levels, and all of them the XP going up by the level. So you start out with the green Dragonhide body, then the blue, then the red, then the black, and then the royal. And the prices to create all these Dragonhide bodies change all the time. Lately, they have been all about the same price for all the bodies, in which case would make Royal the most efficient to use. However, of course, as mentioned earlier, there will be a link down in the description to a handy little table which will tell you exactly the price of how much all these bodies cost to create, and then it'll be up to you to decide which one is best for you. So the method of creating d'hide bodies is very simple. You just want thread and some leather in your inventory. You can alternatively even create d'hide shields if you want. They are slightly faster XP and they cost slightly more, so that's just up to your own discretion. You do not need a needle in your inventory, so please disregard that in the video. However, these Dragonhide bodies are extremely fast to create and you really burn through the leather fast, so you will have to stock up on extra leather because you can only buy 10,000 every 4 hours. So make sure that you have a large stockpile of dragon leather before you really go hard into the crafting, because this is extremely fast and you will go through these leathers in no time. Now it is time for the fastest but also the most expensive way of training crafting in the game, which is cutting gems. Now there are 5 different kinds of gems which are commonly cut: the sapphire, emerald, ruby, diamond, and dragonstone. The dragonstone is the fastest way of training crafting the game, which is up to 550k XP per hour going full speed. All of these gems take a long time to buy and stock up in bulk because they have very low buy limits. The dragonstone meaning you can only buy 100 of them every 4 hours. So if you plan on training this way, you better plan far ahead, because you're not going to be training this anytime soon unless you have some friends to buy gems for you. And also, this is insanely expensive, so prepare to have a lot of cash to throw towards cutting gems if you plan on training your crafting this way. And the method of cutting the gems themselves is quite easy once you have them all stockpiled up. Just withdraw a full inventory and begin cutting away. Again, this is unfortunately another method of train crafting which is extremely fast and yet not AFK, since you can go through an entire inventory of gems in about 20 seconds. However, if you have the cash and the patience, this is well worth it because it's insane XP per hour. One final method of training crafting that's worth mentioning before I end off the guide here is the clan Citadel loom. If you have a clan that has a loom plot inside the Citadel itself, once a week you can cap the Citadel. It's up to 120k XP an hour. How much XP you get obviously depends on your level. However, if you're on high 90s, around 99ish, you will get over 200k XP just for capping at your Citadel. Obviously, it depends on how far you can cap, what is your Citadel's cap limit, and all of that. But this is very good weekly crafting XP, and it's also 100% free. So if you have a clan like that, or if you're interested in joining a clan, you might want to find one that has a Citadel if you do need that crafting XP. So that's about all for my updated crafting guide. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like as it helps me out. And also, if you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section, and I will skim over the comment section every once in a while and answer any comments that I feel are answering. Again, there is a link in the description towards a RS wiki table which has all the XP and GP rates for these. So if you're curious on how much it's going to cost you to train with a certain method, be sure to check that out because that will give you all the up-to-date prices. So that's all. Thank you guys for watching, and farewell.